Good morning to all of you. We are going to start a new data collection topic, that is observation. By this date we have learnt many data collection techniques. Now this observation is completely different from whatever data collection which we have studied till now. Now let us study what it is. So observation is a way of gathering data by watching behaviors, events and noting physical characteristics in their natural surroundings. Observations can be overt, everybody knows that being observed, or covert, no one knows that being observed, and the observer is concealed. Okay. Now, we will study what it is. First is, it is a way of gathering data by watching behaviors. आप कोई चीज़ देख रहे हो and it is a method of data collection. ठीक है, आप कोई चीज़ देख रहे हो, so it can be a behavior, it can be an event, it can be a physical characteristic. Okay. So, and another thing is we are watching all this in their natural settings, I will give you an example. Suppose if my study is a study to assess the behavior, the playground behavior of toddlers in selected nursery school at Bhilai. Okay. तो मेरा टॉपिक क्या है, मैं प्ले बिहेवियर असेस करना चाह रही हूँ, किसका, टॉडलर्स का. ओके. सो व्हाट आई डू इज, मैं घर में बैठ के नहीं कर सकती, आई हैव टू गो टू देयर स्कूल एंड व्हेन द चिल्ड्रन आर प्लेइंग इन प्ले ग्राउंड आई विल बी ऑब्जर्विंग देम. सो व्हाट इट इज़ अ वे ऑफ गैदरिंग डाटा. माई टॉपिक इज प्ले पैटर्न्स या प्ले बिहेवियर ऑफ toddlers. Okay. So this is an I am gathering the data, and how I am gathering data, I am watching behavior. I am not asking question to anybody. One thing to remember in observation is I am not asking question to anybody. What am I doing? I am just observing the required behavior. It can be a behavior, it can be events, or it can be physical characteristics in their natural settings. Natural settings means वो behavior जैसे जहाँ पे होता है, I have to do that. For example, if I am interested to watch the feeding technique of preterm infants, so I have to go, what is a natural setting? I have to go to a neonatal ward or maybe an ICU, that is a place where I see those behaviors. So this is their natural setting. तभी आपको समझ में आ गया what is observation. You are not asking any question, but you are watching. And what are you watching? It can be a behavior, it can be an event, or it can be a physical characteristic. Okay. Now observation can be overt, everybody knows that they are being observed. For example, if I am interested to study the infection control practices of BSc first year students. So if I come to maybe B1 ward, if this is my topic, if this is my topic of interest, so they will be knowing, I will be telling that today I am going to observe the infection control practices when you give injection. So they know that I am observing them. So that is overt. If that is overt, overt किसको बोलते हैं, जिसको हम देख रहे हैं वो जानता है कि रिसर्चर उनको देख रहा है, that is overt. But it can be covert. What is covert? No one knows that they are being observed. The teacher may come, the teacher may not tell that she is going to assess your infection control practices. She does not even utter a word, and this is what she is doing. So if this is the condition, then it is a covert observation. Overt का मतलब क्या है, मालूम है, जिसको देख रहे हैं, they know that a researcher is observing them, that is overt. And what is covert? Covert is they do not know. They do not know that somebody is watching them, watching a particular behavior, all these things. Okay. Or it can be observer is concealed. Sometimes the teacher may not be visible to you. The teacher may be standing in some other place, or the researcher is standing in some other place. Maybe he or she is using a CCTV to watch the behavior of the people. So this is all covert. Covert means the people do not know that they are being watched, and the observer also might be concealed. जो जिसको देख रहे हैं, they are not able to see the observer. ठीक है. So I think the concept is now clear what I have studied. It is a method of gathering data by watching, maybe behavior, maybe events or physical characteristics, but this has to be done in a natural setting. Okay. Second is it can be overt, where people know that they are being watched for a particular behavior, or they are being assessed for a particular behavior, that is overt, or covert, that do not know, because the observer might be sitting in some other place. Okay. Next is observation becomes a scientific tools and a method of data collection when it serves formulated research purpose, is systematically planned and recorded, and is subject to checks and control on validity and reliability. अब ऐसे ही ऑब्जर्वेशन करने से it doesn't become a research tool. Now they becomes a scientific tool, maybe becomes a method of data collection when it serves a formulated research purpose, when it is a part of a purpose, a study to assess the infection control practices of BSc nursing first year students. So that is a statement of a problem, and you are observing to watch this or to know whether to what extent are the BSc first year students doing their research work. So, sorry, doing the infection control practices. So, then it becomes a method of data collection, which is and becomes a scientific tool. Okay. Second is it is systematically planned. You cannot just go any day anywhere and just collect some few data and come. So, that is not part of research. It will become a part of data collection when it is systematically planned. What is systematically planned is you have answers for whom are you going, from whom are you going to collect the data, where are you going to where are you going to collect the data, how are you going to collect the data, will it be covert, will it be overt, and what is the number of samples, all these things. So, this is all systematically planned and it has to be recorded. What you observe, हाँ ठीक है, मुझे याद रहेगा, ऐसे सिस्टम में नहीं चलेगा. It has to be recorded then and there, so that you have the record of events as and when it occurred, and it subjects to checks and control and validity and reliability. आप research tool में जो भी tool use करते हैं, it has to be valid and it has to be reliable. What do you mean by validity? Validity means a tool is valid when it is supposed to measure what is if it measures what it is supposed to measure. आपका observation checklist should measure what you want to observe, maybe play behavior. तो आपके checklist में play behavior के questions होना चाहिए. Then it is valid question. Why? Because it is able to assess the play behavior of maybe play behavior of toddlers, or suppose if it is a procedure infection control practices, then it should have a list of infection control practices by which you can assess to what extent are the students following the or are able to manage the infection control practices. Reliability means if you use this same tool for 2 or more than 2 students, you find similar findings are there. If the status are same, you find similar findings. So, that is called as reliability, where by test and retest means you do that particular procedure again and again, you find that you are finding similar findings, then it is called as reliable. Okay. You will be studying about validity and reliability in detail. There are different types of it which you will be studying in the later classes. So, observation कब टूल बने, कब इसको मेथड ऑफ डाटा कलेक्शन कह सकते हैं? फर्स्ट इट हैज़ टू सर्व research purpose. Second is it has to be systematically planned. Third is it has to be recorded then and there, and it has to be valid and reliable data. Okay. Next is what is the definition? It is one of the method of data collection is observation. Observation is systematic watching with a view to specific objective. You have some specific objectives, based on that you are watching. So, that is observation is a systematic watching. Second is according to P. V. Young, observation may be defined as systematic viewing coupled with consideration of the scene for phenomena. Means it is not just watching here and there, it is a systematic watching. Apart from that, it is coupled, means what you have extra, it is consideration of the scene phenomena. Whatever you are seeing, that that has to be considered. Whatever you are seeing depending on your topic of study, that has to be considered. Okay. So, that is according to P. V. Young. Another definition is observation research is a qualitative research technique where the researchers observe participants' ongoing behavior in a natural situation, or whatever behavior is going you see in a natural situation. Okay. So, that is the definition of observation research. Now, how to plan the observation? There are certain steps. First is determine the focus. आपको क्या देखना है? That is determining the focus. Okay. Think about the evaluation question you want to answer through observation and select few areas of focus for your data collection. If it is a very extensive area of data collection, then it becomes difficult to observe. Okay. So, we have to focus exactly on what things you want to observe. Okay. So, you may want to know how well, for example, you may want to know how well the psychology curriculum is being implemented in the classroom. Your topic, if somebody is interested to find out to what extent is this psychology curriculum implemented in the classroom. So, what you need to observe, your focus area may be interactions between the students and teachers and the teacher's knowledge and skills and behavior. This is just to give an example. Depending on what you want to observe, you have to make a list of it. Okay. So, that is determining the focus. That is determining the focus. Okay. For example, your topic is a study to assess the pallidi feeding of preterm children. Okay. If that is it. So, what I can do, what we can do is focus area means what are the cues. Okay. Of feeding. So, as soon as you see the cues of feeding, what are the cues of feeding? That the baby may be doing some sucking movements with his lips, or maybe making his tongue to come out, or making some sucking sound. So, these are cues. As soon as you see these cues, what you do is you keep the pallidi in the tip of the lips, and then you can observe it. Okay. So, we may have questions related to cues of behavior. Second is we can have questions on number of sucks the child is having. Okay. Suck swallow reflex, is it coordinated or is it not coordinated? I can have questions on duration of feeding. Okay. All these things. So, what we are doing is my topic is feeding behavior of preterm by using a pallidi, but what we are doing here is we are dividing into what exactly are we going to observe. Okay. So, it can be suck swallow, it can be cues to this and duration of feeds, etc., etc. Okay. So, depending on that you make a list. Next is design a system for data collection. Now, these are my areas. Now, how am I going to do that? So, that has to be specific. Okay. Then when you what you want to collect, once you have confirmed, then determine how are you going to collect that information. Okay. Now, how to collect that information? There are 3 different methods. First is recording sheets and checklist. You have a sheet where you want to record, or you can even have a checklist. Checklist, we know it is already written what is there, and then what you have is, and then what you have is then you make a list. Okay. Checklist, we know that what you want to observe is already written, and then you can write whether it was present or not, yes or no. Okay. So, that can be checklist. Okay. So, for example, cues of behavior, was it present or not, you can put a tick mark. So, that is a checklist. Okay. Or it can be recording sheets. So, they are the most standardized way of collecting observation data, which includes preset questions and responses. You have what you want to observe. First, you do a review of literature to find out what is the behavior, feeding behavior of children of preterm children by doing a pallidi. You make a list of it, and then you have a preset questions. We do not go to NIC and see whether it was present and then you record it. No, what you exactly want to know, you make a list and then you make a checklist. Okay. It is a preset questions and responses. So, these forms are typically used for collecting data that can be easily described in advance. For example, topics that might be covered in a specific procedure. For example, feeding behavior I have told. Suppose if I am talking about infection control practices during injection procedure by BSc or a GNM first year student. So, I will have some infection control practices questions before the procedure, during the procedure, after the procedures, or all those things. Okay. So, what you want to observe, you can make a list and then you can do it. So, this can be recording or a checklist. Next, this can be a observation guides. Now, what is the difference of it? What is the meaning? The list of interactions, process of behavior to be observed with space to record open-ended narrative data. For example, I am interested to know the infection control practices related to injection procedure. So, somebody is doing a hand washing. I may not have 6 steps of hand washing, but only hand washing written. So, what you write in observation guidelines? You write open ended narrative data, what you want to observe. Suppose the first step may be done, second or third step may be faulty. तो आप क्या लिखेंगे? First step done properly, second and this was not done properly. So, this is called as, इस टाइप की लिस्ट को हम क्या कहते हैं? Observation guides. Okay, where you have the list of observed to be or behavior to be observed, and at the same time you have specific place to record open ended narrative data. Open ended मतलब आप उसको describe कर सकते हैं. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, so this is hand washing. कौन से स्टेप सही था, कौन से स्टेप गलत था, हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, all these things. Okay, so checklist will give you a list of what is to be observed and additional information कुछ आपको लिखना है. So this can be observation guide. Third is select the site. Suppose if you have a large number of people where you want to observe, so select an adequate number of sites to help to ensure that they are representative of the large population and will provide an understanding of the situation you are observing. For example, you have 100 students in one batch. Okay, so 100 students have been taught about infection control practices and you are interested to know. So, what you do is you select the adequate number of sites. So, what we do, we will identify what are the different procedures which are done maximum at different areas. So, what we do is we may choose H3 ward, we may choose B1 ward, maybe E1 ward. So, these are the places where more infection control practices are there, more procedures are being conducted where you need a sterile technique to be followed. So, that is called as select an adequate number of sites, which will help to ensure that they are representative of a large population. You may be your sample size may be only 60 out of 100, but once that 60 when you focus, you have to select those people which will be a representative of a for data collection. Suppose if you go for a infection control practices in a ward where there are hardly any procedure, then it is almost of no use. So, better to go to a ward where more procedures are there. Okay, so that is the number of, select an adequate number of sites to help to ensure that they are representative of a larger population and will provide an understanding of the situation you are observing. Next is, suppose if it is extensive study where you alone cannot do it. So, what you do is then we need observers who are going to help you out. So, आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, आप अकेले नहीं कर पा रहे तो आपको और लोगों को लेना पड़ेगा who will be observing. So, they are the observers. You may choose to be the only observer or you may want to include others. So, who can be others? Other professional staff members, other teachers can join, maybe interns or graduate students, volunteers, और are all potential observers. ठीक है, तो आप भी कर सकते हैं, आपके साथ वाले भी कर सकते हैं, interns can do it, graduate students can do it, or maybe people who are volunteering to do it. So, they all can be selected as observers. Okay. Now, सिर्फ select करने से काम नहीं चलेगा, you need to train what they want to observe. Okay. So, it is critical that the observers are well trained in the data collection process to ensure high quality and consistent data. आप किस टाइप का डाटा चाह रहे हैं, दे हैव टू बी ट्रेन्ड. बिना ट्रेनिंग का आप डाटा कलेक्शन नहीं करवा सकते. ओके, सो फॉर दैट देयर हैज़ टू बी हाई क्वालिटी एंड कंसिस्टेंट डाटा. ओके, so the level of training will vary based on the complexity of data collection and the individual capabilities of their observers. Two things will come into force. First is कितना extensive training है या कितना minimal training है, will depend on complexity of the data collection. आपको जो डाटा कलेक्शन करना है वो कितना कॉम्प्लेक्स है या कितना ईजी है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट आपका लेवल ऑफ ट्रेनिंग रहेगा. सेकेंड इज इंडिविजुअल कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ द ऑब्जर्वर्स. आपने जिसको ऑब्जर्वर्स चुना है, फॉर एग्जांपल you can have teachers also as who can be trained as observers. You can have intern students also. So naturally teachers will be doing their work easier and they will require less training as compared to students. So that is the individual capabilities of the observers. ठीक है. Next is time your observations appropriately. Programs and processes typically follow a sequence of events. It is critical that you should schedule observations so that you are observing the components of activity that will answer your evaluation questions, and this requires advanced planning. So, timing your observations appropriately is very, very important. When you go for data collection, it has to be a time when that process occurs. For example, if you are interested to know infection control practices related to injection, so you have to be in the ward by 8 o'clock, because between 8 to 9 all the injections are given. So, or maybe between 12 to 1. So, that may be the time when the injections are given. So, if you come to a time where it is neither a tedious time, neither a OD time, neither a VD time, then it is of no use at all. Okay. So, it has to be planned, it all requires advanced planning. Okay. So, now in types of observation, these are the basic two types. Okay. First is non-participant observation, and here it is participant observation. See here, in non-participant observation, same scene is being seen, but the person is using a binoculars, okay, or maybe CCTV, can be this, can be a video. So, this is the non-participant means the researcher is not a part of study. Now, here in participant observation, the researcher is a part of study. Okay. The researcher is a part of study, and he is watching people in their natural environment. Suppose if in shop you are interested to see the behavior of the elderly, so you can see in their shop itself. So, that is the natural behavior. So, here it is non-participant, where the observer is not a part of the natural setting, and here the researcher is a part of the natural setting. Now, what are the types of observation? First is participant observation. It is when a researcher is involved in the activity they are observing. For example, researcher is a participant in the Alcoholic Anonymous group, and participant observation offers a research more context and a greater understanding of what is being studied, and participating in the activity can change the behavior of those being observed. So, समझ वर्ड से ही आपको समझ में आएगा पार्टिसिपेंट ऑब्जर्वेशन, जिसको ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं वहाँ पर व्यक्ति है, रिसर्चर है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज participant observation. When a researcher is involved in the activity, they are observing. Okay. So, for example, researcher is a participant of Alcoholic Anonymous group. If you are interested to know the activity of Alcoholic Anonymous, Alcoholic Anonymous मतलब ये ग्रुप में कौन लोग रहते हैं? वो लोग रहते हैं जो एक समय में they were alcoholics, but now they have come out of that alcohol and they are helping other alcoholic people to come out of the behavior, addictive behavior. ठीक है. तो ऐसे ग्रुप को हम क्या कहते हैं? Alcoholic Anonymous. If the researcher is interested to know the activity of alcoholic or effectiveness of Alcoholic Anonymous group in managing alcoholism, अगर ऐसा टॉपिक है तो इसमें researcher is a participant. The researcher is a participant of the Alcoholic Anonymous group. वहीं पर जिसको देख रहे हैं वहीं पर one of the person is the researcher himself or herself. So, participant observation offers the researcher more context and a greater understanding. Why? Because you are there only. You are there only. So, naturally you will be able to observe the things properly. Okay. But problem क्या है? The participating in an activity can change the behavior of those being observed. But the problem क्या है? जैसे you become a part of the group, for example, infection control practices of BSc first year, उसका normal behavior might be something else, but if the teacher tells this is a research study, we are interested to know your infection control practices, उसका natural behavior थोड़ा change हो जाएगा. She will try to be very careful what she wants to do. So, this can change the behavior. Okay. Participating as or if the researcher is involved in the actual setup. Okay. Researcher is a participant of Alcoholic Anonymous group या the actual setup, then the issue is the participating the activity can change the behavior of those being observed. ठीक है. तो जिसको हम observe कर रहे हैं उसका behavior totally change हो जाता है. Okay. So, that is participant observation. Non-participant observation का क्या है? The researcher is separate. For example, an adult in the back of the classroom observing student test taking skills. A test is going on, your teacher is standing in the back and then the person is seeing. So, that is called as non-participant observation, where the teacher is not nearby, but he or she is standing at a place where she can see it, okay, see you or see others. So, that is non-participant observation. So, this allows the researcher to use the tools like recorders, cameras to more actually capture what is being observed. तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, you can do a recording, it can be a camera, it can be CCTV, but it may provide more limited insight into the dynamic and context of what being studied. Okay. But at the same time, you have to be you have to be cautious about it, that we have to use recorders or cameras. So, they should be focused at a place where, so that they can those CCTVs, cameras or recorders can catch the actual setting what you want to observe, but it may provide a limited insight into the dynamics and context, but it may influence your point of data collection. Okay. नेक्स्ट है स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन. इसका क्या मतलब है? स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन मतलब आप ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हो, क्या ऑब्जर्व करना आपके पास लिस्ट है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन. Researcher uses structured or semi-structured tool to observe the phenomena, yet the researcher observes only the behavior in accordance with the planned observation guidelines. Okay. तो इसमें what we do is, क्या ऑब्जर्व करना है, we have a list of it. It can be checklist, it can be rating scale. तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट आप उसको यूज़ करते हैं. सो इस टाइप का ऑब्जर्वेशन को हम क्या कहते हैं? स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन, वेयर द रिसर्चर यूजेस स्ट्रक्चर्ड और सेमी स्ट्रक्चर्ड टूल टू ऑब्जर्व द डाटा. तो आप चेकलिस्ट और रेटिंग स्केल में आप कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड में आपके पास चेकलिस्ट और रेटिंग स्केल नहीं है, बट व्हाट यू हैव इज you have log and field notes, anecdotes, field diary and video recording, है ना. unstructured का है, it is used in qualitative study with minimal structured categories. It is used for complete observation of which is well known by the researcher. Okay, twice it is written here, which is well known by the researcher. Researcher को अच्छे से पता है कि क्या observe करना है. At that time, that researcher may not use a checklist or a rating scale, but he will use a logbook or a field notes. Okay, logbook and a field notes मतलब जिसको for example students write daily diary. आप क्या करते हैं? रोज को रोज उसमें लिखते हैं. इस टाइप के बुक को हम क्या कहते हैं? logbook or maybe field notes, where a daily entry of all the activities which you do has to be observed. Okay. Next is anecdotes. Anecdotes मतलब कुछ भी unusual आपको दिखता है, आप नोट करते हैं, फलाना बच्चा ने ऐसा ऐसा किया या फलाना वर्कर ने ऐसा किया, ऐसा बोला. सो दैट इज एनेक्डोट्स. दिस इज शॉर्ट में आप कुछ इवेंट होता है तो उसको शॉर्ट में लिखते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एनेक्डोट्स. फील्ड डायरी. फील्ड डायरी इज अगेन लॉग बुक टाइप ऑफ थिंग, वेयर कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशन आप कर रहे हैं, यू नोट इट डाउन. कुछ खास ऑब्जर्वेशन आप कर रहे हैं, यू नोट इट डाउन. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फील्ड डायरी. ओके. फील्ड नोट्स है ऑन अ एवरीडे बेसिस व्हाट यू राइट. फील्ड डायरी का मतलब क्या, आप ऑब्जर्व करके कुछ स्पेसिफिक लिखते हो. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फील्ड डायरी. देन इज वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन. ठीक है. Now what are the users? To understand ongoing behavior or situation. है ना, कोई behavior चल रहा है उसको आप पता करना है, तो what you can do is you can use a observation. A process or situation can be monitored and evaluated as it occurs at a particular time. For example, existing ward management practices. If you are interested to know the existing ward management practices in government versus private hospital, आप क्या कर सकते हैं? जैसे चल रहा है वैसे चलने तो अस्पताल को, एंड आप जाके ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, प्राइवेट को भी गवर्नमेंट का भी, एंड देन यू कैन मेक then you can compare. So that is one example of understanding the ongoing observation or situation. Okay. Next is to gather data on individual behaviors or interactions. Okay. So observation allows researcher to observe people behavior directly or watch for the results of behavior. For example, responses of nurses to agitated patients. If you are interested to know the behavior of nurses related to agitated patients, जो patients बहुत नाराज, गुस्सा चिल्ला रहे हैं, ऐसे patients के साथ nurses का कैसे behavior, अगर ये आपका topic है, then you can use observation as the data collection, because this helps to observe the people directly. or watch for results of behavior. Okay. So this for example response of behavior to agitated patients. तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग कर सकते हैं या वॉच कर सकते हैं, वहीं वहीं नोट डाउन करेंगे. सो दिस इज टू गैदर डाटा ऑन इंडिविजुअल बिहेवियर्स और इंट्रैक्शंस. ओके. और इट कैन बी इवन रिजल्ट्स ऑफ बिहेवियर. रिजल्ट्स ऑफ बिहेवियर फॉर एग्जांपल somebody is having एंग्जाइटी डिसऑर्डर. आप क्या कर रहे हैं, एंग्जाइटी डिसऑर्डर के पहले उसका एक्टिविटी ऑब्जर्व किया, यू गिव सम एंटी एंग्जाइटिक ड्रग्स, फिर एक महीने के बाद फिर आप ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं. सो दैट इज दी वॉच फॉर रिजल्ट्स ऑफ बिहेवियर. आपने कुछ दिया है, इंटरवेंशन दिया, यू आर इंटरेस्टेड टू नो, देन यू कैन यूज दिस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल रेस्पॉन्स ऑफ नर्सेस टू एजिटेटेड पेशेंट्स. Next is to know about a physical setting. Observing the setting or physical environment help to increase the understanding of the event. Okay. आप natural setting के बारे में ज़्यादा अच्छे से जानकारी कर पाते हैं. For example, observe whether classroom or training facilities conducive to learning. आप you are interested to know the skill of nursing students. So what you do is आप observe करते हैं. You have two side of setup. One is classroom teaching and second is the training facility. दोनों को compare करके आप देख सकते हैं to which is good. Classroom is good or maybe your other thing is good. Maybe classroom teaching या training facility. दोनों में से कौन सा अच्छा है आप चेक करके बता सकते हैं. So this is to know about a physical setting. Next is data collection when other methods are not possible, especially those people who are illiterate. They may not be able to answer your questions. Okay. So data collection when other methods. So ये कब useful कर सकते हैं, can be illiterate people, it can be children, it can be those people who do not understand your language. All people will come here. So, okay. So data collection when other methods are not possible. आप क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ पा रहे हैं because they are illiterate. Okay. You are unable to ask the questions because they are illiterate. Okay. So that conditions you can use a observation technique. Okay. Now what are the advantages? It collects data where and when an event or activity is occurring. जहाँ जब जैसे भी event होगा you can record it. Second is does not rely on people's willingness or ability to provide information. Patients मतलब जिससे आपको डाटा कलेक्शन के लिए उनके लिए वेट नहीं कर रहे हैं, whether they are willing or not, whether they are able to apply give information or not. तो इस पे आप बिलीव नहीं करते हैं. You observe and you note it down. Third is allows you to directly see what the people do rather than relying on what people say they did. This is first hand information where the researcher is directly observing. Okay. So here he did not rely on what other people are saying. Well, now what are the disadvantages? Susceptible to observer bias. गलती हो रहा होगा तो observer will may rate it. अरे ठीक है तो चल गया, अरे ठीक है. Okay. So that is called as observer bias. He may be partial to somebody, may not be partial to somebody, or he may have a tendency to give better marks, will not allow anybody to fail, etc., etc. So these are all other aspects of observer bias. Then susceptible to Hawthorne effect. What is Hawthorne effect? When people know that they are being observed, they will do the work best. Okay. So that is Hawthorne effect. What is Hawthorne effect? जब किसी को पता चलता है कि टीचर, फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्टूडेंट कम्स टू द टीचर इज ऑब्जर्विंग हर मेथड ऑफ गिविंग इंजेक्शन, तो क्या करेगी, पूरा कोशिश करे कि दी बेस्ट करे, उसका रूटीन जो भी प्रोसीजर फॉलो कर रही थी, शी विल नॉट डू दैट. ओके. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज Hawthorne effect. Next is, but it can be time consuming. Okay. It can be expensive and time consuming as compared to other data collection methods, and does not increase your understanding of why the people behave as they do. So इसमें it does not increase your understanding. Observation से why are the people behaving in such a manner, ये आप पता नहीं कर पाते हैं. Okay. So this does not increase your understanding on why the people behave as they are. Okay. So these are the disadvantages of observation, जिसमें observer bias. Some people may be biased, so some people may rate with good marks to all the people, or may be partial to some people, may not be partial to some people, etc. Hawthorne effect is when people know that they are being observed, they will do their best. Okay. So that they get good marks. Third is, but the biggest issue is it can be time consuming. and expensive as compared to data collection methods. To conclude, observation is very useful method of data collection, which gives first hand information about the phenomena as it occurs and can be successfully used among illiterate people with speech and learning defects. Okay. So, this is a very good method and it can be used for those people who have speech difficulty, who have hearing disability, they can be used. Okay. So, thank you to all of you for a patient listening.